Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I am super excited to be testing out the Jaguar F-Type SVR. All-wheel drive, 5-liter V8, 575 horsepower. Now I have tried out the F-Type R and it was one of my favorite all-time vehicles, and all this does is step up the game. This is of course the convertible version, but they take the 0 to 60 from 3.9 seconds down to 3.5 seconds, top speed from 186. If you are in the hard top with the spoiler in the correct setting, up to 200 miles per hour. And so an incredible vehicle, 575 horsepower, but of course the supercharger mixed with the exhaust, when you put your foot down, that is what this car is all about. You just get pure joy, and it's this combination, it really is the combination of the supercharger, so you have this immediate throttle response when you put your foot down, and the sound that you also accompany that torque, that immediate torque with from the exhaust. The combination is just seriously unbeatable. It is such a fun vehicle to drive. The transmission in this car is absolutely phenomenal. This ZF 8-speed was the first automatic transmission that I really felt like, okay, I'm okay with automatic transmissions. Before I thought it either needed to be dual clutch or a manual gearbox. It's brilliantly smooth, it's incredibly fast, and it's just an unreal transmission, and it's a regular automatic. I mean, 8 speeds, so you've got aggressive gears. You can bring the revs up, put your foot down, get into some serious torque very quickly. The car is playful. I really do like this vibrant blue exterior color. And some of the changes for the SVR, of course, it has the additional power over the 550, and that's purely tuning that they've done. They've also removed some weight out of it, so not only is it more powerful, but it also weighs less, about 55 pounds. And that has been done through the exhaust, which is a titanium Inconel alloy, so super sophisticated stuff. And also the wheels, so a forged alloy wheel that takes about, I think, 20 or so pounds versus the stock F-Types wheels, or the base F-Types wheels. So you pull some weight out, you give it more power, and when you take the top off, which is truly amazing, once this top is down and you get even more of that sound in here from that exhaust, it's a really special vehicle. It does have an active rear spoiler, so it does, influence the coefficient of drag and the coefficient of lift, depending on where that spoiler setting is. So pretty cool that they've incorporated that. But it's kind of got this old school appeal to it that I really like with it's a 5-liter V8. It is a V8. It's supercharged, and something that kind of lacks in a lot of the modern vehicles, even vehicles that are super quick. I've been driving the GTR today. Some other super quick cars out there that are turbocharged. You don't get the response that you get with this when you put your foot down, because it's supercharged, and you just have that instantaneous knock of torque planting you in your seat. And then that roar and those pops. Man, this thing is just truly a joy to drive. So you do have different settings you can put it in. I've got it in dynamic and then in sport mode. And so the sport mode here basically will just keep the revs up if you don't choose to do your own shifting. And usually in automatic gearboxes, I say, just let the gearbox do its thing. Let the gearbox do its thing, and it's usually fine. Because a lot of the manual transmission, the paddle shifters, aren't quick enough to kind of react to what you want them to do. This one's fantastic. It's a great gearbox. And it's a great feel to it. Super smooth, which usually you get smooth or quick, not both. And this transmission is just amazing how smooth it is, as well as quick. Now they also do have an option for carbon ceramic brakes, and I believe they said you can take out another 45 pounds versus the standard steel brakes. So they have one variant here that they were saying, the hardtop, and it's got a certain package set up where it's 110 pounds lighter than the F-Type R with an additional 25 horsepower. So just amazing that they pulled out a good amount of weight, and they've upped the power. And so the F-Type R is incredible, and the SVR just takes it another level further. This thing is just, man, it's violent, and I love that. As you can see, I can't help but, keep this smile on my face the whole time, even if I am following a Honda Civic at 40 miles an hour. This thing is just a joy. Listen to that. So there's a little taste of the joy that can be had in this vehicle. Truly one of my favorite cars I've ever been in. This thing is... I can't even come to words. This is sad. It's sad that it's making me this emotional. Usually I'm, Spock that can't smile, and man, this thing is just unbelievably fun. It brings you back to a primal self, where it's just like you get joy from loud noises and quick movements, and it's just like, it's very silly that is what brings a human to be like super joy. But I'm just babbling nonsense at this point. This is what this car has done to me. I'm totally sober, I guarantee it, but man, this thing just has it just dumps dopamine into your brain. It's unreal. It's an unreal car. I wish I could say that, it was affordable. It's not. So that's the downside. Everything else about this car is just pure brilliance. It is unbelievably good. And there is a little bit of playfulness to it. You can tell that even with all-wheel drive, you could definitely get this thing sideways if you wanted. And the traction control system as is keeps it pretty tame, but there's a little twitchiness to it, which is cool. It's a little bit of a beast, and you've got to know what you're doing when you're playing with it. So I enjoy that. Hopefully I've said something useful in this video. I feel like I was mostly just giggling, but if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thank you so much for watching, and get yourself a Jaguar F-Type SVR. That's just not fair. That's just unreasonably good. Listen to that, Jesus. Oh my God, this thing just asks for police to pull you over.